Hi, this is Business with Dave. In this video, I'll be giving you my tips and advice on how best you can craft your street food menu. So yeah, let's jump straight into it. So firstly, bigger looks better. So this is where you focus on your food presentation. You want to make sure it looks like it's value for money. So this is bigger portions, means that it looks more appealing to customers. And you want to make sure it looks good, that it's Instagram worthy. People take pictures and share it with their friends and family. And also, importantly, visually, those who actually buy your product, and if they walk around the different markets, that hopefully attracts other customers to your store as well. Because people forget, if the food doesn't look good, they're less likely to buy it. So if it looks visually appealing, you're more likely to generate that interest and get those people to come try your food anyways. So secondly, you want to make sure it's affordable. So make sure you're pricing between middle to low range, so it doesn't sort of scare any potential customers away. You're not pricing them out, and you're actively encouraging customers to come give you a try. And that's the most important thing, especially when you're crafting out your street food menus, that you want to make sure that, yes, you need to be price sensitive, customers can be really price sensitive, and whatever you're offering needs to be within the same range in your market and the general pricing of that particular type of food. So you just want to make sure you focus on that, because it will make or break your street food business. Because if it looks too pricey, people won't give you a try, but if it looks too low and the quality doesn't look good, they're less likely to give you a try as well. So you want to make sure there's a nice balance between, and you'll be good. So thirdly, presentation. Again, you want to make sure your food looks good, make sure it's Instagram worthy, you can share it with other people, encourage people to generate an interest for you, and that starts with how you present your food. Visually, people take pictures of it. Visually, people sort of eat with their eyes first before they actually taste your food. So even if it doesn't taste good, they will probably give you a try because it looks good. And that's such an important thing, because if you just focus a little bit more time, a little bit more attention on how it looks and how it can be presented, you could be making those sales a lot quicker than if it looks kind of sloppy and it doesn't look as attractive to eat as well. So again, pay the extra attention to detail, and you'll be good. So the next tip is to minimize ingredients and to maximize output. So this is where you bulk buy most of your vegetables and your meats, and then depending on what you have on your menu, sort of similar ingredients, so then you either reduce your overall waste, and that you can save on how much you're actually purchasing those ingredients for, whilst also giving customers choice between different types of proteins, for example chicken, pork, beef, or a vegan option, and that you can ensure that you don't potentially lose any potential customers. But the most important thing is that you're keeping your margins tight as well. So obviously you don't want to waste food, because that will go down as potential costs. So this is where, if you could manage your ingredients well, you could bulk buy most ingredients, that you could just maximize the amount of profit margins you'll get out of it. So next tip is to be a sole trader in the marketplace. So this is regarding you selling a particular type of food, street food, that is not available there at the moment. So this is where you look into the market, see what people potentially want and what competitors are already doing. For example, if you want to do burritos and there's no Mexican food there, do it, because this will make you the go-to place if people want a burrito at that marketplace, instead of you potentially competing with another burger place that is already established in the market. This is where you focus on your own food and your own market, because if you're doing Mexican food, then you could be offering that to customers, and you'll have less competition, because if there's a place that is selling Mexican food, Thai food, Chinese food, burgers, there'll be more of a range for customers to be able to choose from. But if they have a particular craving for your food, particularly Mexican food, then you are good to go. They'll come to you instead of potentially going to either one of these other ones. So do try to stand out from the crowd, because having competitors isn't going to be the end of the world for your business, but it will open up the market to other people to stealing potential customers from you, which you don't want to be doing, and you want to just make sure you grab them for yourself. So the next tip is speed is key to sales volume. So this is where you potentially have everything ready, made, and to be put into boxes or wraps when an order comes in. This is nice and easy because then you'll be able to assemble as you go along and get those customers through within 1 or 2 minutes, which also means you'll be maximizing the amount of sales you'll be doing in your trading hours and getting through as many customers as you can, which is so important in order to make sure you can maximize your sale. So next tip is to put on a show. So whether you want to craft out your menu where you're making stuff to order, so this is where you're making the customer's food from scratch, which is a great way to showcase your craft, your cooking skills, cooking raw ingredients and potentially having it all finished and giving it to the customer. This way you'll be able to charge a higher price, you'll be able to create a better reputation for your business, and hopefully you'll be known for your craft. But obviously the negative is that it could be quite time consuming, people might not want to wait, so you potentially lose customers, but obviously you really have to weigh up the pros and cons when you are deciding this. But ultimately, when you put on a show, people love to see it, people love the smells, people love talking about it and potentially telling their friends and family about you. So if you can do it really well, you have a potential to create a really successful business that not a lot of people will do or will have. So do consider those when you are considering your menu. Next piece of advice is whether you want to go for more traditional or fusion foods. Obviously there will be pros and cons for each of them. Some of it will be here, so traditional food, very easy to be recognizable. People know what the classics are of a particular cuisine and particular dish. So if you craft out a pretty good niche on a dish, you could be well known for it and people will go to you as the go-to place for street food, pad thai for example. But obviously if you're doing fusion food, you're doing something new, you could be putting 2 different dishes together or 2 different cuisines together and really showcase your creativity, your cooking skills and your imagination ultimately. And you could be ultimately creating something that might not be in a street food environment before. So do feel free to stretch out what you can potentially do, showcase what your food is all about and potentially create a potential niche for yourself. But obviously it will be harder because you'll be needing to educate your customers a bit more thorough than if it was more traditional street food, which is quite common and people just research online. If you're doing fusion, be on the cautious side. You really have to educate your customers, you really have to give out samples, make sure you showcase what it's all about, what it tastes like, how would you describe it in order to get people to start trying, in order for you to generate that interest and generate that reputation for your business and yourself. But obviously if I had to choose, I would go for more traditional street food just because it's more recognizable, people know what it is when they see it, and hopefully they'll have the curiosity to come try your version of a classic dish than to potentially try something completely new, which on paper might not look like it fits, but hopefully it does if you do go for fusion food. So my last and final tip to crafting your street food menu is to not do food. Yes, one of the things I do want you to consider is to do something drinks or dessert related. So this is coffees, smoothies, iced teas, or if you're desserts, you could do ice cream, baked goods, bakery and stuff like that. Something different, interesting, something that is not already in a market, because when you go to a typical street food marketplace, there's going to be a lot of main meals, there's going to be a lot of competitors, but those who buy from these places, they're going to need a drink, they're going to need a sweet dessert after, so you have the potential to open their sort of imagination and hopefully buy from you after their main meals. This makes it easier for you because then you're focusing on something different. It could be quite a lot easier as well, and regarding drinks, your margins could be a lot more bigger than if you used to do food. And in terms of desserts, obviously it's going to be different from actually doing a full-on street food store because you'll be baking before you come, so it could be a lot easier. You could be setting up in the mornings and just selling what you've made the night before. Nice, easy, caters to another part of the market, and you'll be good to go, as people who want your kind of food will come to you straight after their main meals. Thanks for watching this video, guys. If you found this video useful, do like this video and consider subscribing to the channel. We'd love to see those numbers go up, so if you did find it useful. If you have any comments, any questions, any help or any advice, do put it in the comments below. I will answer them as soon as I get them. But yeah, I've been Business with Dave. I will see you in the next video. Bye.